It's getting pretty serious for crypto. Not trying to be cute here, but the space is very fortunate to have the XRP community. We are more war ready, with nearly 20 months of experience. Quite a powerful decentralized fighting machine already assembled.
Whoa! So the SEC tried to throw Deaton off the case. We're not having any of that, are we? Hey, everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I want to thank all the well wishes that I received from people. I was a little under the weather the last week. I'm at about 85% today, feeling much better. And I have a very good video for you. I think if you are an XRP holder, it is extra special. All right, let's get to it.
What is up, good people? Linqto here. Hope you're having a good day. Man, is this court case just running away from the SEC? I don't know the last time they actually made a good and coherent argument. It's getting sillier and sillier by the day. And we see Jeremy Hogan adding, once again, an SEC gambit fails. Not only will Deaton likely be allowed to brief the expert witness issue, just not right now, and not be kicked out of the case as the SEC had hoped, but by attacking Deaton personally, the SEC opened the door to filing of the SEC dirty laundry.
That was Jungle Link, someone who's daily commenting on the case and always adds, for me, a more wider circumference of thinking. He's doing a great job, and he's never afraid to give his opinion either. So we know as XRP holders, it's game on with attorney John Deaton. John Deaton's website mysteriously went down yesterday, and I just checked, and it is still down. I would encourage everyone to, while you can, connect to Congress. His crypto-law.us site is still up. And remember, you can call for a Hinman investigation. You can point out Gensler's failure to allow RippleNet ODL to meet the G20 roadmap goals for massive improvements needed in cross-border remittances, and also point out the SEC hypocrisy. You don't have to use your own words. You can use the judge's words. Earlier today, Eleanor, John, and Charles all had a Twitter feed live for about 30 minutes. It was excellent, and you can find it on Eleanor's thread still. That's at Eleanor Terrett. She spells her last name with 2 R's and 2 T's. I'm not one to really use the word role model. In fact, I rarely do. But in this case, I think Eleanor is truly a role model. What really stands out is that she is a true journalist. She went to Simpson Thacher and asked them, well, why did you actually end your membership with the Ethereum Alliance? They gave her an answer back, and she revealed that in the Twitter Live. Simpson Thacher evaluates its professional memberships, industry affiliations, and subscriptions on an ongoing basis, taking into account the value they provide to clients. John replied with a timestamp prediction. Simpson Thacher ending its membership with EEA, that is the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, was 100% intentional, and it attempts to lay the groundwork for Hinman to publicly address the issue. They are minimizing the membership. Hinman will claim he knew nothing about it when he gave the speech. If we were putting money on predictions, I'd bet on this one. Stu Alderoty, Ripple's general counsel, penned an op-ed in the Real Clear Markets today, zeroing right in on Sherman. Sherman is that representative from California that called out XRP as a security during a hearing. He reminded Sherman that just filing a lawsuit, just the mere filing by the SEC, determines nothing. As a Harvard-trained lawyer, he should know this. He goes on to say that Tom Emmer was a voice of reason. I have a clip of that voice of reason, followed by a mashup of clips that give you an idea of just how off Brad Sherman is.
Chair Gensler ever directed you, or to your knowledge asked any of your colleagues, to make it a bloodbath for companies who don't respond to a sweep letter, which are voluntary?
No, that's not happening.
Interesting. We've become aware that Chair Gensler has in the past directed the Division of Enforcement to send a sweep letter to a particular sector of the crypto community designed to jam them into a violation that is allegedly unconstitutional. And if any company does not respond to said sweep letter, which I'll reiterate, as you've said several times, are supposed to be voluntary, then the SEC would make it a, quote, bloodbath for them. If true, I imagine such a tactic would significantly erode trust between the public and the SEC. Here's the problem. The SEC isn't interested in clarifying what areas of the crypto industry fall under SEC jurisdiction. We know that because FinHub, that you've referred to, the SEC division focused on crafting crypto regulation, has essentially dissolved under Gensler. Nonetheless, while abandoning good faith attempts to clarify how the Commission's existing authority applies to digital assets, the SEC is hell-bent on expanding the size of its crypto enforcement division and using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction. Under Chair Gensler, the SEC has become a power-hungry regulator, politicizing enforcement, baiting companies to, quote, come in and talk to the Commission, then hitting them with enforcement actions and discouraging good faith cooperation. Understand, sir, there is a new day coming. Thank you. I yield back.
I've looked at Bitcoin and wondered whether there was a big enough market among terrorists, drug dealers, and it didn't seem to be enough.
Cryptocurrencies are a crock. What social benefit do they provide? Well, they allow a few dozen men in my district to sit in their pajamas on the couch all day and tell their wives they're going to be millionaires.
Cryptocurrencies have the political support of the patriotic anarchists who are rooting for tax evasion. I hope we shut it down. We've got to get back to a situation where we have long-term investment based on the value of the company, not momentum investing based on the idea that the company may not be worth anything, or the Bitcoin may not be worth anything, but I can sell it to a bigger fool and get out of it.
Moving right along, we're just about an hour away from the time of this recording to understand what is going to happen with the U.S. interest rate. Now, we expect there's going to be a rise, and we expect that to be 75 basis points. We'll hear from Chair Powell, and no doubt if it's going to be lower, that should have an interesting effect on the market. And equally interesting will be if it's higher than that 75 basis points. So just hang tight, and I'm sure once it's announced, it'll be all over the media. In the meantime, listen to Judy Shelton chiming in on what she thinks about raising the rate.
I mean, when we raise rates, it's just harder for businesses and entrepreneurs to do what they want to do.
Well, I definitely think that higher interest rates are a higher cost of business, which inevitably gets passed on to consumers. And I also think it's a mistake to discourage productive lending that might go to companies who would then hire people to provide greater supply, higher output of manufactured goods, or an increased level of services, all of which would help relieve that demand pressure. I'm definitely someone who favors a supply side solution. And it's not just about monetary policy. Unlike Elizabeth Warren, I would argue for a lower regulatory burden on business. I think that's costing economic growth a lot. And I would lower taxes because I think you'll get more productive economic activity if there's less taxes.
Wow. Judy Shelton to me sounded like a voice of reason also. All right, we're jumping to the fluff, everyone. We're going to talk about these new chains called Seepla. They're a store that is stacked 4 high of surprise toys packaged in these round plastic capsules. They call them in Japan gachapon. I've talked about them before, and I've highlighted some of the hilarious oddities that you can find. Every subject under the sun. And it's ageless, too. Seriously, it doesn't matter how young or how old you are. Everybody loves gachapon. Most of the selection will cost you about $3 US per capsule. Where it always gets you is, yeah, you know what the selection is. And almost always there's just one that you really, really want. So you try one time, and you try 2 times, and then you try 3 times. And then you have to say to yourself, do I stop here or do I try again? One of the most popular gachapon right now is a line that's called Sushi by Foreigners. And the reason why is because the Japanese are just fascinated with how people living outside of Japan who aren't Japanese and maybe have never been to a real Japanese sushi bar interpret how the sushi is served in Japan. And so I'm sure if you live in the West, you've come across things on a menu like the caterpillar or the spider roll, the rainbow roll, the volcano, the train bomb. Well, these don't exist here in Japan, just don't exist at all. So it is quite a novelty to see how the world outside of Japan has taken their beloved sushi and turned it into something that is pretty fun to collect. So here is a lineup of 5 different versions, and just let me show you what it looks like in detail. Pretty awesome, actually, I think, for the detail. Yeah, it looks quite real. This is one that's called the Dragon Spider with the avocado and negi. You have the little nori, which is the seaweed inside. What is that on top? Salmon, mayo, and salmon roe. Yeah. It looks yummy to me, but you'd be hard pressed to find this actually in Japan. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.